Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Tom Foster, and this is Talk of the Town. You know, every town we travel around, everybody has one of these institutions. Everybody knows about these institutions, but not everybody knows what those institutions do. And we're going to be talking about that today in just a few moments. But as we've said so many times in the past, this show is meant to put positive light on all the good things that are happening here in Clinton. And I think one of the most positive things we have in Clinton are our minds, and training our minds, and at least watching our kids grow, watching grown-ups use services that we have in town. And the institution I'm referring to today is our library. And with me today to talk about what we have here in Clinton, the wonderful, the Henry Carter Library, is the executive director. And the executive director is Mary Beth Breen. Mary Beth, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, Mary Beth, give me a little background about you. Are you a native to Clinton?
I am not. I moved to Connecticut 42 years ago. I've lived in Clinton for 40 years. I've been with the library since 1995. Back in the old building, I helped move the library up here as a part-timer and work my way up through attrition to my position that I've had since 2005.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when you moved to Clinton, was there anything, I always ask people this when it's the first time on the show, is there anything that sort of attracted you to Clinton?
Well, my husband and I really liked the proximity to the water.
Sure.
And the proximity from Boston, because all our family was still up in the Boston area, and the availability to shoot down to New York at the same amount of distance.
And have the commuter train right here. It's
the train,
very, very convenient.
Yep, the mountains of Vermont. It's a great location.
Yeah, and all the beautiful beaches and
Yes.
restaurants are all within walking distance.
Yes.
Now, this used to be in a different location, correct?
Correct.
And where was that old location?
So I think actually now it's Fast Signs, I believe, is in there now. It's kitty corner from the new CVS, right on. It was on 10 West Main Street.
Oh, yeah.
Chester's Barbecue was there, and
Yeah.
before that Malone's was there, and before that we were there.
Okay.
Yeah, since the 50s.
So when did it actually move over here to this location?
1998 is when we opened the doors here. Yeah, we started the process in 96, and we, Labor Day of 98, we cut the ribbon and opened the doors.
That's great. Now, it's named after Henry Carter.
Henry Carter Hall.
Henry Carter Hall.
Yes.
So explain what the background is at Henry Carter Hall.
Well, he was a banker and a philanthropist, and when he died, he left his money to his wife, and when she passed away, she wanted to memorialize him and left an endowment for a library and a building, which built the building, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
the
had it
rest
been
is
that name ever since, even from the
it
old
was the
location?
Clinton Library. I believe at one point it was the Literary and Thimble Club.
Wow, that's
way back,
interesting.
yeah.
Wow.
But they clearly needed some funding, so.
Now, I'm interested, when people think about libraries, the old libraries, I think, well, just go there and take a book out on a library card. But I think a library is much more than that today. And the first thing I wanted to ask you is about library cards.
Sure.
Do you still use library cards?
Absolutely, yeah. We got to keep track of our things. Yeah, if you're a Clinton a Clinton resident, you just come in and let us know your address, give us a little information, how we can contact you. If things are ready, things are overdue, we just want to be able to reach out to you. And if you are a resident of any other town in Connecticut, you just bring in your current library card from that town, and we put you in our system, and you can have.
So you could have
Right.
multiple library cards around the
No,
state.
you have one.
Oh, you have one, so you have to make a choice
But
which
you-
one you're going to use?
No, you have one card that's good at every library in
Oh,
Connecticut.
okay, that's
Yes.
great.
You just register it at each different library.
Oh, okay, so if
Yeah.
I lived in, let's say, Greenwich, Connecticut,
Yes.
I could register there.
Bring your Greenwich card here, we put it in our system, you can take out books. Yeah.
And then I could go to Hartford and do the same thing.
Absolutely,
Great.
yeah.
Now, how many library cards do we actually have right now?
That's a good question. As of last year, I believe there were 14,000. So that's out-of-towners, that's children, that's residents.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that number also includes someone that I was mentioning that might have to be
Right.
in Greenwich that comes here.
Right.
So that 14,000 cards is not necessarily just Clinton residents.
Correct.
Okay.
Last I checked, we were about at either 70 or 80% of residents had cards.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, what about yourself in terms of the role of executive director? What does that role entail?
Well, building management, staff management, advocating for my budget, town hall, reporting to my board. I have a board of trustees. Just the everyday running management, you know. Some days I'm at the reference desk, I've filled in at the children's desk, I've been downstairs at the circ desk. It's a small operation.
So you wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
I did too. Look at it, took a toll on me.
I've shoveled the walk before, we clean the, you know, the furniture in the back, whatever needs to be done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, how many people do you have on staff here?
We have about 20.
And are all those paid employees or some
All
paid? and some-
paid.
All paid.
Yes, some
So-
part-time, some very part-time, and 5 full-timers.
That's great. So no volunteers. Everybody who's working
We
here.
used to
Okay.
have a nice group of volunteers. The pandemic sort of culled that down. We've got at least 3 now. We have 3 now who do like book repairs and book shelving, that
Awesome.
kind of thing.
And I know my neighbor, Susan Leidy, she's been a long time.
Yeah, she's been working here longer than I have.
She
yes.
ha- really?
Oh, absolutely,
Wow,
yes.
well,
Yeah, I think 90. It's 1990, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Now, we talk about, people think about it traditionally, you come here and get a book. Talk to me about some of the other services that you offer here at the library.
Well, tomorrow starts summer reading, so.
And what is summer reading?
Well, so it depends on what age you are. We have children's summer reading, teens, and we have adults. Tomorrow we'll have Casey Carl here doing a children's program in the morning, and then we'll have the Bubble Guy in the afternoon.
And what's the Bubble Guy?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. That's his name. Casey Carl is the Bubble Man.
The Bubble Man.
He does a great program inside with bubbles. He makes bubbles so big kids can get inside. And it's just a little excitement to start off summer reading. So there's programs. For the teens, we're doing a henna tattoo.
Oh, really?
So we've got a henna tattoo artist coming in for them. And for the adults, we're keeping track of what folks are reading, and we're randomly pulling names, and we've got raffle prizes
Oh, you do?
For folks. But aside from that, we have programs. We have all kinds of programs.
Such as?
Well, regular programs for kids. We have Spanish classes. We have movement classes. We have story times. We have, for teens, we have Dungeons and Dragons. Don't ask me how to explain that.
Iris could explain to us.
Dungeons and Dragons, and then movie night trivia for kids. For the adults, we have regular. This morning, we just had our monthly TED Talks, which we invite community members to come in, watch TED Talks on a theme, and then have discussions. We do the same with the Atlantic magazine. Every month, we have a group gets together. Everyone picks an article. They get together and they discuss. We have fiction book club, nonfiction book club. We process passports here. We have
Really?
a notary here. Yes, we have all kinds of.
That's really good to know.
Museum passes that we circulate.
Really?
We have e-books. We have downloadable audiobooks. We have streaming video.
Wow.
Yeah, we circulate games, electronic games. Yeah.
Well, so if somebody wanted to play an electronic game rather than go in the store and buy it, they could come in here and
Give it a try. Maybe they like it, then maybe they go buy it themselves.
Sure.
But, yeah,
Now,
give
if
it a
they,
whirl.
let's say they took something out like that or something comparable, how long are they able to use it for?
It depends. For books, physical books, it's 2 weeks. For movies, it's a week. And then, we've also got a whole entire library of things. We have backpacks
Really?
for birders with binoculars and bird identification books. We have an electric guitar and an amplifier.
I just saw somebody come in with an electric guitar.
Right?
Was that part of your program?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
We have 2 ukuleles. We have an electronic drum kit. We have metal detectors. A lot of these things have been donated to us, and we thought, well, why don't we just, slap a barcode on it and
Make it available to the community.
yeah,
That's
let people
awesome.
give them a try.
I wonder
Yeah,
how many people
yeah.
actually know that. That's incredible.
Well, yeah, we're trying to get the word out. Yeah.
Right. Hopefully this will help do that.
Yes.
Just that. Now, so let's say I need a weed whacker.
Yeah, well, we don't have tools quite yet,
Okay,
but
it was just that.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll
And when
think
you
about it.
when you mention movies, like how vintage are the movies? They had old movies, new movies.
Yes.
All yes.
All, yeah.
Oh, so they have new movies too?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
so can I get Top Gun 2 before I leave?
No, you can't. As soon as it comes out in DVD, we'll have it.
Really?
And then
That's
you can
great.
have it.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
So this really replaces the old rental stores where you had to go to like a
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Blockbuster or something like
yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
that's really incredible.
Yeah.
And again, for the movies, how long?
Those are a week.
Those
yeah,
are a
we
week.
let you have 7 of them for a week, yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all free.
Well, they're your tax dollars at work.
Exactly. You're right. So it's indirectly free.
Yes.
Right. And how's the utilization of some of these programs?
Great.
Yeah.
We've got a steady circulation of all of our materials.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I think the biggest thing people want to know is how do you find out about all these things? If somebody I wonder if the library has this. Is there a website they can go to?
a very robust website that's always being updated. It's hchlibrary.org. So Henry Carter Hall, hchlibrary.org.
Okay, so make sure if something that interests you that we're talking about today, again, go to,
Right, hchlibrary.org. It's got our phone number. It's got all our events listed on there. It's got a link to our catalog so you can see what we have available. It's an option. If you can't find what you're looking for, there's an option to request a new item or an older item from another library. Everything, links to resources available through the state. All of our downloadable options are listed on there. All our digital resources.
Now, what about counseling? Today there's so much counseling going on in the world. Do you have access to counselors? Somebody want to come in and talk to somebody about issues that are affecting them?
You mean through my staff or?
No.
Or,
Is there
well,
something
so
like,
we have,
like a referral system or something?
we do not, but we certainly have study rooms in private areas that if folks need to meet someplace, away from their home, that they can certainly do that.
That's great. Matter of fact, that's how this whole thing got started. Iris and I met right over in that room. Hopefully this is all going to snowball into something that's very
great.
beneficial for the town. And in terms, you mentioned, mentioned Top Gun, obviously in joking, but how soon typically does it take before a movie goes to DVD after it's initially shown?
Well, it used to be, you used to be able to count on that. And now with the pandemic, everything really slowed down as far as movies were concerned, as you probably remember.
Sure.
No one was going to the movies. Things were being released in streaming services. The streaming services were holding on to them longer. So it's really hard to tell. We just always are scanning to see what's available, and as soon as things are, we pull them in.
Now, you mentioned the pandemic. How was the utilization rate during the pandemic? You think with people are going to be, they're boxed in their home, they really couldn't go out. Was the library still open for them to come in and get books and things?
We closed for a small period of time. During that time, we were able to go through the entire collection and do an inventory, which is hard to do when you've got people pulling books and checking things out. And then we went through and weeded the whole collection. So that took about, I think, 2 months. And then we opened for curbside service.
Oh.
So we did that until September. So that was March, I think April, May, we opened back up, taking phone calls from folks, requests online, filling them, checking them out. And I think you'll notice we have that overhang outside.
Yes.
So we were able to put a table out there, and we would wrap things with folks' last name on them and stick them out there, and people would just drive by, run up, pick them up, and carry on.
Now, some people are still worried about, being contagious and whatnot. You still see a lot of people wearing masks, and that's a choice everybody has the
Sure.
right to make. Can they still do that? Can they still order online and come in
Absolutely.
and pick it up outside?
Absolutely. And a handful of people still do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And how did they find out about which books they'd like to take out? Is there a list in
Again,
your website?
A link to the catalog.
Okay, and that'll
Yes.
show every book that's in your inventory.
Well, you search by title
Yeah,
or,
yeah, exactly.
or browse category.
Right.
You'll notice that we have browse categories at the top.
Right.
It certainly doesn't start with A and end with C.
Yeah, right. So you'd hit fiction or something like that?
Yeah,
Or,
and
junk.
nonfiction, and
Yeah.
then we have the New York Times bestsellers, new movies, all of those categories are right
perfect.
at the top.
It shows
You'll see-
exactly what the inventory is under that category.
Right, you'll see the image of the item, and then you'll click into it and find out whether it's available or not, and if not, you can put a hold on it.
Oh, and I'm looking over to my right, and I see something on that shelf that says large print.
Yeah.
For people getting older and
Yeah,
won't give in to wearing glasses. How many books do you actually have in large
Well, it
print?
starts here, goes all the way around to here, and then we have a big bookcase full of brand-new ones
Wow.
downstairs, so they're very popular.
So for those of you
Yeah.
who don't like that small print, you got a whole library to pick from, a large print. That's great.
Yeah.
And in terms of the age groups of people that use this, what's the normal age group, would you say?
We call it birth to death,
Birth to death?
We've got new moms bringing little babies in buckets, and then we have folks, who come and do the puzzle or come for, we have Scrabble afternoons. Now we
Wow.
have some Mahjong groups who meet here. So it's all ages.
So if somebody wanted to join the Mahjong group, that's available to them. So
Yeah.
if I wanted to play Mahjong and I don't have somebody to play with, I could call in and say I'd like to become part of that group.
And we will tell you exactly how that works.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in something like that, are there levels of expertise?
I don't so much know. I'm
Okay.
not a.
You're not
I'm
a Mahjong
an-
player.
I am not a Mahjong player, so
I'm a basic checkers guy.
yeah, I don't know exactly
What about
how it
chess?
works. Yeah, we don't have a chess group here, but we have Chess, I think it's out down in the children's room.
Oh.
So you're welcome to come down and, bring a partner in.
And what about computers? Sometimes we don't have computers at home. Are we able to come in and use computers?
We have 8 PCs for the public upstairs here in the reference room. We have 4 laptops. We have a Mac that folks can use. We have computers downstairs. We have iPads, all of that.
Now, are any of those materials, are those loanable?
They're not yet.
So-
You can use them within the building,
Okay.
but not outside the building yet. We're working on a partnership with Human Services.
Now, what about one of the things that once we, produce these films, and of course, Iris is my producer, director, cameraman, the Jane of all trades, and she has to edit these. Do you have any editing equipment here?
We do not, unless it's through a Mac. I mean, we have a pretty robust Mac, and I'm not sure the capabilities of that Mac, but
Okay.
I would guess that there's some kind of capability to edit there.
Right. Wow, that's interesting. Now, in terms of your role as the director, what would you like the community to know about you, and more importantly, what would you like them to know about the library?
Mainly, I would imagine just what we have available to them, and it's theirs. We jokingly say, we have your stuff, come get it.
That's great.
So we would love people to use it more.
Absolutely.
That's always the struggle, is how do you reach people who don't already know what you have here, so.
Wow. And how is the library funded?
Well, so it is funded through taxpayer dollars, about 80%.
Yep.
Then we have an endowment, the Henry Carter Hall Library
Okay.
Endowment, which we do not own, but we're the beneficiaries of.
Yes.
And then we do some fundraising here.
That's great. And how do you advertise your fundraising?
Well, we've got an event coming up in September.
And why don't you talk
hopefully-
about it?
Yeah, well, we haven't finalized it yet, but
Okay.
we're zeroing in on September 10th with, I'm not sure if you know the Galvanized Jazz Band.
No, I
Out
don't.
of Bill Seafood, really fun.
Oh, really?
And some wine tasting, and it should be a fun event. Things, again, pandemic, everything sort of got squashed, but it gave us an opportunity to sort of retool and mix things up, start new.
And
Yeah.
where's that going to be held?
Right here.
Oh, it's
yeah.
gonna be right
Yeah,
here.
we've got a lovely gazebo that we put up last year with federal ARPA funds.
Nice.
And so we're hoping to have a day like today, put
Be
them
perfect.
outside, have the garden open and the community room.
Great. And will there be food and beverages and
Yeah,
things of that
yep,
nature?
yep.
Like food trucks, something like that?
Catered, I think,
Nice.
some kind of catering.
So will
but
you be selling tickets for it?
We will.
Okay.
And you'll see it right on our website,
Good.
hchlibrary.org.
Okay, so you're not familiar with all the details, but what do you know
Yeah.
right now what the price of tickets will
I
be?
don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
But it's
the
something they can check.
board, so this is coming from the Board of Trustees, and they'll be meeting again in July.
Oh,
So
good.
hopefully we'll have something.
And how many people on your board?
There are 12.
12.
Mhm.
Okay. So you basically report to them?
Yes.
Okay. And how much interaction do you have with them on a
Well,
regular
once a
ba-
month, we
Once a
have
month.
meetings, and we email, if anything is happening, especially during budget time, keep them apprised of meetings and town decisions.
That's awesome. Well, I think people have seen by this interview that there's a lot of things here at the library that people aren't aware of, and
Yeah.
they should really take advantage of.
Yeah, come on down.
And again, if you want to give your website one more time to
Yeah.
make sure drive business here, we'd like to see this place just booming, right?
Well, and it does. On some days it does. Today you've got us on a gorgeous day. I'm sure everyone's at the beach, right?
That's
Iris?
right.
Yeah.
Iris just came from her job at the lifeguard. So again, if people want more information, because I got interrupted by that, if you can give it one more time.
Yeah, it's hchlibrary.org. All of our contact information is there. Our calendar of events, programs for adults, teens, children, all of our online resources. Yeah, everything about us, contact, all of that stuff.
Great. Well, Mary Beth, it's been a
Yeah.
real pleasure. I
Yeah,
wish you
yeah,
the best
yeah.
of luck. And
Yeah, thank
obviously,
you.
you've taken it from here, you're over to here, and you've been here a long time, and I appreciate it, and the town appreciates everything you're doing,
Sure.
because the library is so critical to the well-being of our town. You guys have
We
done a
think
great
so.
job.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll make
We're
sure
proud
this
of
is,
it, yeah.
widely displayed all around our town. So thank you so
Great.
much for taking the time.
Great.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this was Talk of the Town with Tom Foster and Iris Dunn. I want to thank you for watching the show today. And again, you've seen through the show, hopefully, there's so many things that are offered here at the library. Take advantage of them, because this is our library, our town, and we should do everything we can to support the local industries and make this town the great town that it is. So again, Tom Foster and Iris Dunham, thank you for watching today's show. And we want to thank Mary Beth Breen for being today's show, on our today's show, and she's the director of the Henry Carter Hall Library right here in beautiful Clinton. Have a great day.